until you learn how to relax your mind, yourself, and your thoughts, you're easily going to be triggered. You're easily going to be annoyed. People, places, and things outside of you are going to agitate and irritate you. That's the truth. So in this video, we're going to go over 5 tips that I personally recommend in order for you to become calmer. Now, of course, anything you do in life that is unfamiliar to you is going to be time consuming, meaning the more time, energy, and effort you pour into yourself is more likely for you to see the results and to have different reactions and outcomes. And because it is time consuming, you have to practice. So these are the 5 tips that I recommend to you. Starting off with number 1, we have to examine, okay? So you gotta get your spectacles, put on your Inspector Gadget glasses, get into the lab, Dexter, okay? If you guys watch Dexter's Laboratory, let me know. Or are you too young? You have to dissect the issue. So we need to know, where is the root? What is the source? What is your problem? In order to come up with a solution, we have to know what is the issue. And most people are going to tell you, oh, when it comes to being calm, all you have to do is relax and meditate and go for a walk. I know you guys are tired of the same old, and the BS narrative. So I'm going to tell you guys the truth. So the second thing that you're going to do is acknowledge the issue. So an example of acknowledging the issue and the pain is understanding, is it emotional pain that you're feeling? Is it financial pain that you're suffering from? Is it mentally? Is it psychologically? Or however, in order for you to understand why you're not calm, there is some type of discomfort, there's some type of disconnect, or there's some type of attachment issues, anxiousness, or just something that's not serving you. So the third thing is going to be similar to the first. Third tip is what caused the issue. So what was the event that took place? What was the situation to make you feel worried, to make you feel anxious? Okay? So for example, if you were touched on inappropriately, trigger warning, or if you got fired from a job or you were beaten up, what is the actual cause? Like, what caused you to get beat up? What caused you to, be in the tragedy and the suffering? And I'm going to put trigger warning for this part here and without getting too personal, okay? So the fourth thing is addressing the problem. So this is going to require you to communicate. So 1, 2, 3 is just having an understanding, seeing where the problem is, what caused the problem, and acknowledging how it makes you feel. So therefore you can talk about it. Before you learn how to be calm, once again, we have to understand, why is there a disconnect? Why are you worried? Why are you anxious? Why are you depressed? Why do you feel overstimulated? Why? What is the reason? There's a purpose. With everything in life, there is connection, okay? And sometimes the reason why people suppress their feelings is because they don't know how to communicate. They don't know where the source is, or maybe they do and maybe they're fearful, or they've never been taught to articulate and to communicate. So keep in mind, when it comes to your mental health, when it comes to you becoming calmer, or anything that you come across these videos, it is going to take a lot of vulnerability. You have to be very vulnerable when it comes to healing, and it is going to cause you to be triggered, especially if you're not used to it or you're not ready. And even still, if you suffered from something and it took you a while to express it or to tell your truth, it could cause you to be triggered mentally, emotionally. Your hormones can be imbalanced. Like, a lot could go wrong, or a lot can be happening to where you just feel like overwhelmed. So as you're communicating about what has happened to you, as you're communicating about how it made you feel, as you are communicating about what led up to this situation or this tragedy, you can then grieve. And grieving, like I've stated, is going to take a long time. Healing is not something you just do in a day, depending on what the situation is, depending on what you're healing from. There is no right or wrong way to heal, so always takes what resonates, leave the rest. But more than likely, you're going to heal throughout your entire life, because life is constantly about evolving and changing, and so are you. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, physically, you're going to change. Especially if you're coming across this video, which I know you are. You cannot really solve your problems until you are vulnerable about it and you learn to accept it. Acceptance is very important when it comes to any issue, because in order for you to let go of something, you have to be okay with it. And I know you're like, why should I be okay that people touched on me inappropriately? Or we're not here to invalidate you, but healing does require maturity and accountability, regardless of what you did right or wrong. So like my videos trigger a lot of people who are not willing or who don't want to. So you have to make up in your mind that if you want to become calmer, if you want to do something, it is up to you. Nobody's forcing you. That's why I always tell you guys to focus on what you want to receive and what you want to come back. Focusing on people, places, and things that are not resonating with you, that do not pour into you, inform, or educate you, anything positive, because that's what this is about. There is no such thing as toxic positivity. Either toxic or you're positive. You either have genuine intentions or you don't, and you can't pretend. You get to pick and choose what you consume and do in this life. So for you to come up with these solutions, in order for you to take actions, you have to grieve. So grieving could take your entire life. It could take months. It could take years. You have to be honest. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to talk about the things that you went through. You cannot be embarrassed or ashamed, okay? And that's going to be the next video that I'm talking about next. So make sure you click it. I can't put my end screens in here because I'm having technical difficulties, but the next video is going to be how to manage your mental health. I'll probably have it in the description in this video, but in order for you to come up with solutions for you to be a calmer person, you have to grieve. Why are you anxious? Why are you worried? Why are you overwhelmed? Okay, so number one, just going to repeat it back to you guys because this video is going to be a little bit shorter, is finding and examining the source. What is the root? There's a cause and there's effect, okay? What is the problem? Number two, acknowledging the pain. Is it emotional, physical, psychological, mental? Where is the pain coming from? What is the issue? Acknowledge it, accept it, okay? Validate it. So the third thing is what caused you to be in this situation. So talking about your past, talking about the people who did you wrong, the betrayal, the abuse, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, howeverly, or financially, because everyone has different levels of pain. Everyone has gone through different things. We all witness and hear different things. So it's not to invalidate you, but you're the only person, once again, who knows. You just have to be very honest about it, okay? So that leads you into addressing it. You got to be able to speak up. You got to use your voice. You don't need to be afraid. You don't need to be embarrassed. You don't need to be ashamed, and you have to communicate. Lastly is grieving. This is going to take a lot of time and energy and effort, because when you are unlearning information that no longer resonates with you, you're going to feel anxious. You may feel overwhelmed. You may feel depressed. Like, it's literally just a battle that you have to fight. You have to show up for. So if you guys have any more questions or concerns, let me know in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this video. And make sure you guys are following us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. All the information will be down in the description box below. And if you want a one-on-one session, make sure you go to the website and click your appointments and your availabilities, because availabilities are available. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance. Love you. Bye.